Yeah, we've got big troubles with devils today. We've got 1 mum and 4 babies, all sick.
Yep.
One of them's not moving at all.
Okay, jeez. All right, let's go. Jeez.
Yeah, they're flat. They're really flat.
At the Australian Reptile Park, 2 Tasmanian Devil sisters are in quarantine. Keeper Liz is worried their illness may spread to the rest of the devil colony.
This is Lara.
She was the first one that we found, and she just has shown no improvement whatsoever.
She's totally unresponsive.
Yeah.
I get called out to the reptile park a lot, but it's rare that I walk in and I'm so shocked to see just how sick these little guys are.
Usually, you know, we'd have some sort of an idea of what might have caused it, but with her, we just seem to have no idea, and it's just come out of nowhere.
The mystery illness has also struck Lara's sister, Lily.
She'll get up on all fours and then she'll just slump over and she just gives up.
With an animal this sick, I'd expect a fever, I'd expect vomiting, coughing, diarrhoea, just something. With these devils, there's nothing. We've got to buy some time here because at the moment she is the absolute epitome of mystery.
Yeah.
The one thing that really worries me, they might die before I actually work out what's going on here.
At the Bondi Referral Hospital Sash, Lisa is confronted with a rare emergency. 1-year-old Bella has bitten a deadly pufferfish on the beach.
Hey, darling, can I pick you up? Right, okay. Alright. Okay, so Bella apparently picked up a pufferfish this morning. She's been vomiting all day. She's clearly in a lot of distress. She's very weak, she can't stand, she's got tremors. Pufferfish are extremely dangerous. I mean, usually an animal should be dead within 60 minutes of biting one. Within half an hour, they have struggling to breathe and they need to be put on a ventilator. So this happened this morning. It's now been several hours and she's only starting to show these sorts of signs later. So it is quite atypical, but I am worried. This is really weird. I've never actually seen anything like this. I just want to make sure that she can breathe and ventilate properly because the worry is that the diaphragm can get paralysed and that's when they die.
In reception, a quick search of the internet is not helping Bella's owner, Greg.
Just to check, and it's the toxin in pufferfish is actually, it's 1,200 times more powerful than cyanide. So obviously a little bit goes a long way for a poor little dog that small.
You almost have to keep on checking that she's alive, don't you?
Yeah, each time we've come in, we literally have to check that she's breathing, otherwise we would have thought she's dead.
Chris is trying to work out what mystery illness is threatening the lives of these 2 sisters. Lara is the most critical.
What she needs is some fluids. I'm going to need to test her glucose level because a baby this young and this small just doesn't have the fat reserves to keep herself going without eating. So if that glucose level drops too low, she'll die. If a fluid level drops too low, she'll basically die as well. So we just dribble this onto her tongue. There you go, girl, it's good. All right, because she is dehydrated, it's going to be quite hard to get a vein here.
Hopefully blood tests will confirm just what is shutting down the devil's systems.
You see that just collapses once you take the blood out of it. To have any sick animal here at the reptile park is a big deal, but to have a Tasmanian devil is a major crisis. Tassie devils are under threat because in the wild they're developing a fatal tumour on their face. They estimate that Tassie devils are going to be extinct in the wild in the next 5 years. The only hope of preventing this species from becoming extinct is to set up breeding colonies. This is one of the few places in the country that does that. If these guys have a disease that can be transferred to the rest of the population here, it could wipe them out. Look, hopefully this holds a secret to what's going on here. I'm looking at Lara, totally confused. Then all of a sudden I think, there's only one thing that causes animals just to lie there motionless like this. It's botulism. If they take on enough toxin that it actually paralyses their breathing, it can kill them. To know for sure, I need to go and see Mum and her enclosure. Because if I'm right, that's where the answer's going to lie.
His hand there, girl. We'll do all the worrying, all right?
So where is she hidden?
Chris now needs to examine the devil's mother to see how she's coping.
You know where your babies are, don't you, girl, huh? They're okay. They're hanging in there. Right now, it seems to me like the whole family's been affected by this, but to varying degrees. Their mother, little lady, doesn't look 100%, but at the same time, she's nowhere near as sick as her kids are. You're going to be surprised, but I think they've all been affected by botulism. When people hear the word botulism, they freak out because they have no idea what it's all about. But think Botox. It causes paralysis. It paralyses the skin in the face and reduces those wrinkles in those Hollywood movie stars. It does the same thing to devils, but on a much bigger scale.
Botulism is a rare and potentially fatal condition and is usually contracted by ingesting toxins in food.
If my hunch is correct, then somewhere in this enclosure there's going to be a well-hidden piece of meat that could actually hold the key to this whole problem. It goes around here to the right. There's an old bit of meat there. Botulinum toxin, which causes botulism, is one of the most potent forces on the planet. Just 1 microgram can kill a person.
By stashing the meat, little lady has unwittingly exposed her joeys to the ultimate danger.
It's about 4,000 to 1 shots all coming together at one time. So we might test this. If we find the toxin in here, then that's our answer.
Yep.
There is no quick fix for botulism. All Liz and Callie can do is support the devils with fluids and hope they're strong enough to fight off the toxin.
I can see this has already taken a huge emotional toll on Liz and Kelly, but in many ways the fight's only just begun.
Oh, baby girl. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. I know. This is really bizarre. Bella picked up a pufferfish 8 hours ago. She should be dead right now. There's no treatment for pufferfish toxicity. There's no antidote at all. So Bella needs to be treated with a drip and pain relief and sedation. And then we need to watch her really closely to make sure she doesn't need to go on a ventilator. Just have a sleep again. Sorry to disturb you, sweetie.
It's a rare case and Lisa is searching for answers.
What we do know about the toxin in pufferfish is that it's one of the most deadly toxins in the world. It's the same sort of toxin that's in blue-ringed octopuses. It's called tetrodotoxin. So what it basically does is it shuts the nerves down all over the body. I must admit I haven't actually ever seen anything quite like this.
Bella's owner Greg is struggling to cope with the news.
Worst case scenario with pufferfish toxicity is that it can affect their heart, so it can make the heart basically stop. Usually if they're going to improve, whether they're on a ventilator or not, they will take say 24 to 36 hours to get better.
She's still with us, so she's going well.
Greg's now calling his wife, Carolyn. Little Bella may be running out of time.
Just had a call about a Newfoundland, 82 kilo Newfoundland that it's eaten an ice block, but not just an ice block, the whole thing, including the stick. He's a real personality and this is something he'd do.
Kylie has been bringing ice cream addict Rowdy to the clinic since he was a puppy.
Hey, big guy, you've done it this time, haven't you? So how long ago did he eat it?
Probably about an hour ago now.
Okay.
And he basically gulped the whole ice block as well as the paddle pop stick in one go.
One go?
Yeah.
The critical thing is whether it's still whole or whether it's broken. Sure, it's going to be in smaller pieces, but at the same time, it's going to have sharp edges. So I can't really leave that just to go through his intestines, because if it does, it'll shred them. Not that I'm doubting your intelligence, Rowdy, but he obviously doesn't know what he's just done.
Yeah, no, it's happy days for him. He loves ice cream.
If that's the paddle pop stick and it's got to get out of the stomach,
Yeah.
the stomach's got an opening like this.
Yeah, right.
We need it to come out like that.
Yeah, okay.
If it comes out like that,
It's not going to come
it doesn't
out.
come out. Okay, so I'm just injecting it now.
Vet student Ali holds the massive Rowdy as Chris injects him with apomorphine.
What it does, it acts on his whole body basically to make him feel nauseous, and he'll then vomit pretty quickly. So he's going to start salivating, just looking a little bit uncomfortable.
You can tell he feels sick, poor little fella. Oh, it's such an awful feeling, don't you feel for him?
Wow. It's deep.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Greg's wife Carolyn has arrived at Sash to comfort the critically ill Bella.
Bella just turned 1 yesterday, so she's still a baby. And she's such a cheeky little creature. She's like, she's just cheeky, and she has a really cheeky little grin. It's amazing how little, hairy creatures can just touch your heart.
We don't know what's going to happen over the next few hours, so we'll just take it hour by hour, I think.
Oh, it's such an awful feeling, don't you feel for him?
It's deep.
Ice cream glutton Rowdy is suffering.
We've all been there, Rounds.
The huge Newfoundland wolfed down an ice cream stick and now must regurgitate it before it perforates his intestine.
I think we all saw it.
Oh, Chris, I'm so sorry.
I think I wore a bit of it too.
I'm so sorry. Well done. Oh, puppy, well done. Sorry, Chris.
That's the best thing of all.
Yay, Rowdy. Good boy, mate. Sorry, Dr. Chris.
How do you get that down in one go?
He was pretty hungry for ice cream. So relieved to see that paddle pop stick come up. It's like, yay, and it came out without breaking.
Are you alright? Hell of a night on the tiles, huh?
He seems fine, although he looks still a bit sort of down the dumps now, but yeah, I'm very relieved. Up you get, mate, come on. Good boy. Very good. Just not too far forward.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Dr. Chris. Thank you.
Take care.
I will, thanks.
See ya.
Who's a sleepy one?
It's also a long night for Lisa at Sash as she keeps checking on Bella's condition.
No, can we see if you can stand these? Okay. All right. You don't have to do that.
The little schnauzer is lucky to be alive after biting a poisonous pufferfish.
She's still not good. She still hasn't got control of her legs, and her head's sort of swaying around, and she's groaning. She still doesn't want to be touched, so the toxin is still in her system.
But when Lisa puts the shaky Bella on the floor, she's showing plenty of courage.
Come here. This is pretty amazing. I mean, Bella's still fragile, but she's standing and she's even walking. Yes, she's wobbly, but she's walking. She's getting there. She's sort of just learning to use her legs again. She's still a bit wobbly.
Come on, puppy. Just gotta fight, get through it.
Australian Reptile Park keeper Liz has now brought the critically ill Lara and Lily back to her house for 24-hour care. It appears the Devils are suffering from the deadly condition botulism. There is one major complication. They're not her only live-in responsibilities. Liz is also hand-raising two other Tasmanian Devil joeys, Scratch and Smiggle. They now have to be quarantined from the sick sisters.
I've got to be super careful that I don't spread anything from the healthy devils to the sick devils, or vice versa. Oh, yummy.
Lily has shown some improvement and kept down a small amount of food, but Lara hasn't eaten for a week.
We're getting to the point where we're really desperate for them to get through it. Okay, Lara, let's give you a little bit. Come on. Good girl. That's what we want to see.
At last, Lara takes her first mouthful.
It's so exciting to see them feed. You know, it's such a relief to finally see some progress. Hello?
Hey Liz, it's Chris here from the vet clinic.
Now, I do have some results back. They've come back as being positive for botulism.
This is, to be honest, the first botulism case I've ever seen.
They will have the signs of it for between 1 and 3 weeks.
3 weeks? That's such a long time.
Give them all the love and all the attention you can, and give yourself a bit as well. Just try and rest up where you can.
Okay, bye-bye.
So sweet, because Lara doesn't have the strength to clean herself, but Lily helps her. They're so precious, these two, and every devil. They're just really important, and all I want is for them to get better.
Oh my goodness, now I can pick you up and you don't quiver.
Several days after biting a poisonous pufferfish, Bella has made an extraordinary recovery.
Look at you. She's got her normal strength and she's bright and happy and running around, wagging her tail, and her mum and dad are going to be very excited to see her. She's doing the wiggly, wiggly, wigglies.
Carolyn and Bella's big sister Coco have arrived to take her home.
Look at there! Oh, kisses! Really, really lucky little dog, because following the textbooks, she should have been dead within an hour, not with us. So it's almost a miracle. It's fantastic.
Rowdy's bounced back after swallowing an ice cream stick.
Hope you don't mind sharing the shower with him.
No, he's fine.
But with the temperature soaring at Bondi Beach, the big fella's still pining for his favourite treat.
Come on, buddy. Let's go get you an ice cream, huh? It's too hot.
No, Kylie hasn't forgotten Rowdy's scary emergency.
I could not bear going through that drama ever again. It was kind of funny, but it was also so stressful. So now, although he's still allowed a treat occasionally, I make sure it's an ice cream without a stick in it, because he loves his ice cream. Good boy. Happy days.
So excited for you to see them.
Well, I've got to say, so am I.
Oh, the change is amazing.
You're the same too, right?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't think so.
This was Lara and Lily a month ago. The Tasmanian Devil Joeys were so close to losing their battle with botulism.
Yeah, everyone worried, didn't you? It's probably the longest sleep I've ever seen, ever. They don't act all innocent now, hands in the air. You had us scared.
If you could hope for a dramatic recovery in any animal, it'd have to be the Tassie Devil. It is such a beautiful ending to have, because even my most optimistic side probably didn't ever dare believe it would end like this. Africa, it's always been at the very top of my bucket list, but this trip is about more than sightseeing. I've been invited by some of the most amazing animal conservationists in Africa to spend some time over there, but also get hands-on with some of the most incredible animals on the planet. But, true to form, the plane leaves in 2 hours. I'm running late, so I better get going.
After flying into Johannesburg, Chris's journey begins with a 100-kilometre drive to the Kingdom of the White Lion, a unique 2,000-acre conservation reserve.
Just
take a look at this. I reckon I'm about as far from Bondi as I could possibly be. I am about to go and meet a guy who absolutely intrigues me. His name's Kevin. He's known around these parts as the lion whisperer. He gets up and close personal to lions, but he wants me to get even closer, to operate on 2 of his lions. Now, for me, that is so far out of my comfort zone. It's still cats, right? Just big, aggressive cats. It's like he's walking a dog.
The kingdom of the white lion is the vision of Kevin Richardson. 12 years ago, he fell in love with 2 cubs born in captivity. Now he provides a safe home for 41 lions, many of which he's bred and hand-raised.
Hello, my girl. Hello, my boy.
You find it all right?
I did.
Good.
You're hard to miss, mate. Not everyone does that, you know.
Well, meet Siam's pride. This is Siamie.
Hey, Siamie.
He's the chief in charge, really. So he's the one that eats combis. Hence the... Come on, away from there. Nicely. Good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, the closest you've been to an adult?
This is when he looks at me and there's actually no wire between me and him.
Yeah, no, it's a different feeling.
And it's a big window.
And it's a big window, yeah.
His head's...
Yeah.
It just goes against everything your mind wants to believe it's seeing, because people shouldn't walk with lions, wild lions. It just doesn't really make any sense when you see it. So for me, it blows my mind.
Lick on my face. Nice lick. Not bite.
While Kevin dreams of no lion living in captivity, the reality is the wild population is rapidly diminishing.
My goodness, it's 40 degrees. Do you have to lie on top of me? These definitely haven't lived the lives of a captive, normal zoo kind of lion. They've gotten to be in the bigger areas, live in prides, fight for females, roar at other lions over territories. So they live as natural life as I could give them in captivity.
So I'm in Australia, people go to zoos and look at the animals in cages. Here, it's sort of the other way around, isn't it? People are in cages here.
Not bite, Debbie. Debbie. You are a terror. You are a terror. No. I've always thought, if you gain the trust of an animal and get to know it on an individual basis, then the sky's the limit. Once you've formed a really good relationship, there's no reason why when that lion gets to 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no reason why he should actually change his attitude towards you.
What do you think when they see you in there? What do you reckon's going through their mind?
These lions, they definitely know that I'm not a lion. So I'm always like this honorary member of this pride.
What I find even more amazing than the fact they don't tear him apart is the fact they actually go so far the other way. They love him. They're all over him. They just want to be near him and be scratched by him and roll around with him. It's a real affection.
What can I do? I can't. Thank you. Is that what you call a lion hug?
Feels I'm interrupting.
You interrupting the love affair.
Chris is about to become a lot more than an observer. There's been an outbreak of facial tumours in the pride, and Kevin has asked the Aussie vet to help out. We've
had a recent spate of what's referred to as a sarcoid papilloma. They develop quite rapidly, and they also seem to be quite contagious.
Chris will be operating on 2 lions, Kevin's favourite Napoleon and the aggressive Misha.
That's got to be awkward for her, eating and socialising with that.
Yeah. The only trick is she's not a hand-reared lion. She's more of a wildish lioness that's grown up in this pride.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll take our hands off of you even if I try and probe around on her lip. Look at Napoleon on his nose there. You see his nose?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's the one I'm worried about as well. If there's any concern that he's not going to get his nose back together properly or it's going to be tricky, here's my baby. So Daddy's got to intervene here and make sure what's best for baby.
If there wasn't enough pressure about working on a line, he's not just a line. He's the very reason Kevin does what he does. So it's a lot of expectation.
As many times as I hear it, I never ever get sick of it. You cannot get sick of a lion roaring. It's absolutely incredible.
For me, the sightseeing part of this journey out to see Kevin is all of a sudden gone. Now it comes down to work. Kevin really should be very well aware of the fact I've never operated on lions before. Now it's my time to impress. I hope I can.
Misha and Napoleon need to be isolated in the shed so Chris can sedate them.
Winner takes all.
When they walk past, I've got to hide behind a brick wall so they don't see me and jab it. When I jab in there, the needle stays where it is and this pushes in an injector. Can I be honest with you? It's not a technique I've used before. Not a technique I've had to use before, but we're spirit of adventure, we're going to give it a go.
Open rod. Yeah, Misha.
Kevin is well aware of the risks involved.
We've had a vet that was chomped because a lion tower wasn't sedated properly. That was a lesson learned. I should have mentioned that earlier on, hey, before you came all this way. Yeah.
The surgeries are tricky. They're in a delicate part of the body that bleeds a lot.
Close!
But what really freaks me out is the anaesthetic.
After several nervous attempts, finally success.
First job, okay. Let's go out and lever.
Yeah, it's beating a bit quicker now, but I'm very happy to see an empty syringe there. Roller into this?
Yeah.
Can you just tap her eye for me? The big test of whether Misha was actually asleep was tapping her eyes. You normally just need one tap, but I think I was working on about 10 or 20 just to be sure.
But 10 minutes later, Misha is still not completely under.
She's just a little bit light. She's actually blinking when we tap her eye, so it's not really the state you want when I'm about to actually cut into her.
What Chris doesn't know is that during the last operation here, a lion woke up and took a bite out of the attending vet's arm.
I've seen things go wrong. You know, there's a lot of adrenaline in the air and everyone's hyped up and then, you get a little bit anxious always when a cat goes under the knife. But I'm sure she's in capable hands. I'm assured, at least.
There was a pause there. I heard a pause.
No, I've done my research. I Googled you.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got about 20 minutes or so, if that. It's conservative. All right. Let's go. It's going to be a cut, like a wedge, almost like a triangle to try to get in through this gum here. I'm doing Misha first for a couple of reasons. First of all, her tumour is a bit more obvious. It should be a bit easier to get out. So, in a way, it's a bit of a warm-up to the main game, to Napoleon. I'm trying to get a good margin around the base of it and just avoid the fact that incisors is about an inch away from my hand.
To Chris's relief, there are no complications during the surgery.
Okay, can we just get a check on this eye again? Good. The reason I asked you about that is
your hands
very clear.
Your hands are very close to her jaws.
With the tumour removed, he just needs to stitch the wound.
What kind of knot do you call that?
That one is called a simple knot, named after the surgeon that's performing on it.
That devised it.
Kevin is keeping a close eye on Chris's handiwork.
It's going to make it look pretty, you know, because she's going to find herself a guy one of these days, and you know, no one wants to go out with a girl that looks like that.
I'm actually really happy that that's actually come out really nicely, and the lips actually come back together quite cleanly, and from here that swelling will actually subside, and the great thing about this area is it has such a great blood supply. It heals really quickly.
Oh, there we go.
Do that.
Wonderful.
All right, this wakes her up. Thank you, girl. Thank you. You're most obliging. Get the hell out of here. That was really frantic. Actually, a couple of times I had to try to distract the guys and just sit with my gear, fumbling for syringes, just so my hands would stop shaking. There's a huge difference between Misha and Napoleon, not just their size, but most importantly for me, it's their age. Misha's 3, Napoleon's 13. And with that comes a whole new range of risks with the anaesthetic. You just have to be so careful, because at that age, you could lose him.
Much easier, huh? Yeah, good. Difference between a tame cat and a wild cat.
You can tell me one more time if you
Yeah,
like.
well, I'm going to just tell you one more time that this isn't just a lion. This is like a brother. So you are aware of that too. So.
I know.
No, look, he's a special cat. Huh? Each one of those scars represents something.
I'm going to have one across here, am I, if things go badly?
Yeah.
Slowly, Napoleon is succumbing to the anaesthetic under Chris's watchful eye.
Not only does this line mean so much to Kevin, this surgery is going to be incredibly difficult. We're dealing with an area that's not only very sensitive, but there's no give. There's no spare skin to enable me to cut the tumour out and then bring the skin back together and stitch it in place. Here is a real challenge. And then there's a clock on me. Anyone that's had a punch in the nose or even a nosebleed nose at the nose has a lot of blood. One little cut to the nose and they'll bleed, and they'll continue to bleed. And this isn't just one little cut, this is a huge gash that we're having to make here and get quite deep in and around this mass.
The large amount of blood flowing into the wound is making the surgery difficult.
Okay, so there it is there. The real challenge here is actually closing this wound here, because you can see it's big. It's about 1.5 centimetres wide and about 2 centimetres long, and in an area like the nose, that doesn't come together easily or quickly.
I just can't understand how you're going to do it. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Kevin.
But even Kevin is happy with the final result.
Seriously impressive.
Not done yet.
No, it's looking really good. Don't be so modest.
When you sign that line, you commit to becoming a vet and going to vet school, you don't ever for a second think that you're going to be in a place like Africa operating on a big male lion like Napoleon. It's awesome. It's just not what you ever planned for, but you're so happy it happened.
So well done.
Yeah. that's my stress meter.
Yeah, I know,
That's my
I can
sweat,
see that.
That's registering high.
So
right
this
now.
is like 9 out of 10 stress meter?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Good job.
That was intense. It's just full on. I mean, awkward position, and I'm on my knees, lying down, and all the while there's just that big head staring right at you, and he's anaesthetised, but those eyes look straight through you.
Sure, I know.
Now the surgeries have been successfully completed, Chris has told the story about what happened to the last vet who came to the kingdom.
You serious? A vet actually came here and got chomped on. Really? It's good, isn't it? That would have been in the column marked essential knowledge, but he didn't pass that on. Thank you.
After the anaesthetic wears off, Misha is demanding to be let out.
There's a good boy.
But Napoleon needs a lot more TLC.
I'm sorry, but it's for your own good. Yeah? It's actually looking very good. I mean, he's very sore. You can see he's feeling very sorry for himself. But he's a tough cat, eh? You've had worse than that in your life, my boy.
It's time for Chris to head back to Johannesburg. But before he says goodbye, Kevin introduces him to some miniature Napoleons.
Ooh, you're scary, aren't you?
Yeah, I bet.
For you, is this where the relationship starts?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to form a relationship with a lion, it really should start at this age. Even at this age, it's about enrichment. In captivity, you've got to, tire or just keep them occupied all the time. Stimulate those little young minds. I am at my happiest when I'm with the lions because it is a way of me finding a sanctuary. I've often said, and I really truly believe this, I would give it up like that to see wild numbers increase exponentially. If somebody could say this is the magic, formula, you've got to stop going in with lions, and then overnight lion numbers will increase. I'd do it like that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yes.
As far as days as a vet go, I haven't ever had one where I've done surgeries on lions in Africa. So I reckon I remember this one. I'm in Johannesburg, and what a city. It's just a city of contrast, the heights of affluence, and then you look around, you just see the depths of poverty. And right now, I'm heading to the outskirts with the SPCA, and I reckon I'm in for a surprise.
Chris has joined up with SPCA vet Leon Malherkey. They're heading to the community of Finetown to provide much-needed free vet care.
The problem that people have in this, remote areas is such they don't have transport. And they have a lot of animals. So, as I say, if they can't get to us, we've got to get to them.
What I can't believe is that 20 minutes ago, we were in the centre of Johannesburg, a thriving economic centre. And then we come here. They're worlds away from each other. Word gets around when you arrive?
Yeah, the people will start coming.
It's not long before the locals are surrounding the mobile clinic.
People are just coming from anywhere and everywhere. It's loud, it's noisy, there's just animals appearing. I just hope we can handle them all.
The vets provide basic health checks and desexing clinics. But today, the focus is on providing the all-important vaccinations for the killer disease, rabies.
That one dog bite him here.
Okay.
The blood was coming from the mouth.
From the mouth?
Yeah.
If your dog gets rabies, he's going to bite the people, you're going to die as well.
There we go.
Oh, boy.
You're a very good boy, aren't you?
It's lack of money, not lack of love, that's threatening most of these animals, including flamboyant Mary's reluctant buccaneer.
How long have you had him for?
I think 3-4 months.
He's at least 6 months.
6 months.
He's got all these teeth. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got fleas.
Yeah. And the other one is big and is brown.
Yeah. See here? Is this what you mean?
There's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets ticks as well. What about those?
What's wrong with it?
Maybe we think about getting him desexed so he stays at home more and stops fighting?
You want to kill it?
No. There is a love for dogs here. You look at Mary in the way when she talks about buccaneer, a big smile comes across her face. You just need to give them the means to look after their animals and they'll do it. There you go. He didn't even jump. He's a tough boy. Yeah. You love your dogs, huh?
Too much, I tell you.
A little bit too much. See you, buccaneer. You're a good boy, aren't you? You got a good one here. Follow the hat. Follow the hat. Come on.
Buccaneer is what the SPCA's program out here is all about. He's got problems, but they're really easily fixed. And if you can just do a few things like vaccinations against rabies and sterilise him, then Buccaneer could live a really long and quite happy life.
With Mary a satisfied customer, it's off to the local primary school to talk to the students about looking after their pets.
Part of the SPCA's work here is all about education, and it really starts here with the kids because they're the ones that go home and spread the word to the rest of the family. The education today is coming from the esteemed teacher known as... Yep. So in Australia, what I do is I look after animals. So I'm like a doctor for animals. And so today we talk to you about making the animals happy and healthy and jumping like kangaroo. If you have a dog at home, I want you to woof. If you have a cat at home, I want you to meow. If you have something else at home, make that noise, okay? In 3, 2, 1, go. I can see you're going to be very good to your animals. And thank you for having me in Fine Town. Thank you. For a moment, the spirit of Africa just infused into my body, and a moment later it was gone. And it was me on that dance floor. This seems like a lot of fun, just running around, dancing, playing games, but the message here is associating animals with care and with love, and that's what the SPCA is doing out here. It's a hell of a way to get a message across, and it works. I'll see you later. Right now I'm heading to a place called Moholo Holo, which is a very special wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centre. They'll take anything from lions that are hit by cars to leopards that are caught in traps. You name it, they'll treat it. And right now I'm off to actually microchip a rhino, which I think is going to be easier said than done.
After helping out the SPCA, Chris is back on the road. His next destination, the Moholo Holo Rehabilitation Centre, is located in Limpopo, 550 kilometres northeast of Johannesburg. But as Chris gets closer, there's an unscheduled pit stop in a local village.
Hello. People say one of the great things about Africa isn't so much what you see in the tour guide, it's these moments where you just come across these little magical situations.
This man is very tall, mother. This man is very tall.
Yes, thank you. I think they were probably as amazed as I was when they saw me, big 6'5" Australian bloke. I don't see them every day.
Well, I got to meet a long, tall guy like you from Australia. No wonder you're good cricketers and rugby players, eh? Tall and strong.
So
Look at me, I'm
with the animals,
small.
huh? You're right.
Welcome.
Wildlife warrior Brian Jones set up Moholo Holo as an animal refuge back in 1992.
There are a lot of challenges for the animals in Africa. They're getting poached, they're getting poisoned, they're running out of habitat. Where do they go when things get tough? Thankfully, there's Moholo Holo. Want the keys? I don't have the keys. Promise you I don't. Most vet hospitals back home have a clinic dog or a clinic cat. At Moholo Holo, they have a clinic baby black rhino. They sign on the door for a reason, I think.
As a calf, Landella was rescued from the wild after her mother abandoned her when the baby became stuck in a mud pit.
So you look after her pretty much 24 hours a day, do you?
When you leave her to go to the bathroom or to go get her milk or something, she'll just scream and cry until you come back.
Since being rescued, minders like David give Landella round-the-clock care.
Come on, come on.
Including games of chasey to keep her interested.
Be careful, she's gonna bite you, she's gonna bite you.
Playtime is over. Brian's now recruiting Chris to help sedate an African serval.
Down, okay, good shot, well done. Well done, Doc. That's pretty good.
This feisty cat was born in captivity. Another success story for the Mahalo Holo breeding program.
So this serval's been hand raised, but she's now reached the age where she can really look after herself, so she's right to be released. Now she's getting a collar put on her, and that way we're going to know where he is. Key here is just getting the actual diameter of this collar right. The fit's got to be spot on. If it's too loose, then these guys will always find a way to flick it off over their head, and if it's too tight, it's just going to cut into their neck.
Doc, you could actually pick her up here. Turn her face that way. There you are. Well done. Well done. Put it inside. There's it. Close the door. Close it. Hey, on the tail. The tail's short enough. They need to make it shorter.
The serval will be released later, after she shakes off the sedation. Now there's time for Brian to introduce Chris to some of his favourite residents.
Wow.
There's Eland.
Yeah.
Come on, come up, come on, come on.
How do you beat that?
I raised the mommy, and the mommy raised all these babies, and the babies learned to be tame. We got to protect it. We got to do something to protect it, you know. And Africa's it's just dying slowly, like a cancer. I mean, these beautiful creatures. My, what is their future? Come on, Chanandi. Good girl. Good girl. You are. Come on, up. Come on, that's it.
Hello.
This is Uncle Chris.
Hello.
Shenandy is one of the many cheetah Brian has nursed back to health.
They brought it to me, run down, mange, full of ticks, parasites, a horrible state. She killed kudu, she killed impala full grown, she's a good hunter, but too tame for release, it's a problem.
She's really living proof of Brian's work. I mean, she had 2 broken legs, and now look at her, she looks beautiful.
She's incredible. No, I love everything. The only thing I prefer above all is my wife.
She's a little flirt. I don't mind that, because she's a good-looking flirt. To be honest, I think I fell a little bit in love with Shenandy. To be that close to such a mesmerising creature is awesome. But the reality is there's still work to be done and a wildcat to be released. Can we get her bearings?
With the tracking collar, Brian's team will know how the serval's coping on her own.
She's accepting that collar though, which is good.
Yeah.
The great thing about being on this reserve here is they can always keep an eye on her. She'll come back to them if she needs to. If she's doing well, they will never see her again. This is the reason places like Mahalo Holo really exist. It's about making them better and then releasing them back into the wild.
Everybody ready? Here we go. Okay. You jump with us.
Yep.
The guy comes with us. All right, Hyde, let's go.
At the Mahalo Holo Rehabilitation Centre, Chris has been asked to join in a mission to microchip a wild rhino.
So if he doesn't like what's going on, he's going to charge?
He might do, yeah. I've had one smash 5 vehicles here already. Bad. If he did come, we'd have to run for our lives and get in the vehicle. And I've had them smash the vehicle a couple of times. They put their horn, fortunately, they put their horn underneath and lift the vehicle up. So it's only the back horn that punches a hole. Cody, we are on our way now, Cody.
Standing by.
Poaching of rhino is something you hear occasionally about in Australia, but in Africa at the moment, it is the news story because last year, 330 were killed. We're not talking small money for this rhino horn. We're talking about $50,000 a kilo. And in an adult full-size rhino, there's about 5 kilos of horn
in each rhino. That's $250,000.
Chris and the team are searching for 2 rhino brothers.
Okay.
It's the smaller of the 2 males who still needs a microchip.
That's him there.
The first problem is getting close enough to the rhino to sedate it with a dart.
I'm now at the perfect distance to fire. But the reality hits me. If I get this shot wrong, she's gone. There'll be no second chance. All the while I've been thinking, I'll have some time for this shot. I'll be able to get myself prepared, focused, get the target right. All of a sudden, Hind says, go now, must go now. And it's on. Before I can enjoy the relief of landing that shot exactly where I wanted it to go, he's taken off. And it doesn't look like he's coming back.
Bit stressed about us being around. Made a run for it. The worry is that the drug hasn't kicked in yet, so he's going to drop at some stage, but it might be miles away. Spotting some tracks and they're going through this way.
You wouldn't think it'd be possible to lose something as big as a rhino, but that's exactly what's happened. But thankfully, what have we got? Hind's tracking skills. The guy's incredible. He's looking at the dirt. He just sees things that I can't even see and goes, not this way, gone that way. And all of a sudden, we're getting close to that rhino.
You see the big one? Yeah, here's the other one. Okay, wait.
Hind now alerts Brian to their location.
Okay, also southeast of you. Just keep our eye open for the other one, eh? The other one ran away towards the mountain, but just keep eye open, ears and eyes open.
He's stumbling around, so it's certainly made him immobile.
They stand and sleep like horses, and then at some stage they go down.
Chris and Hind are now carefully approaching the sedated rhino. There is still a risk it could turn and charge.
To be that close to a rhino, it's one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
It's this weird mix of exhilaration and absolute terror all at the same time.
I see there's some blood. There's a hole here.
Just extraordinary.
Brian and his team have been given the all clear to bring in the equipment for the dangerous procedure.
It really hits home for me when you're here and you see those animals and you look into their little eyes and they're caught up in the middle of this war and they don't really know why they're involved. What they use the horn for is honestly a bit of a mystery as far as scientists are concerned, because it's claimed to have every benefit from being an aphrodisiac to helping arthritis to people are even claiming it cures cancer.
It sells for up to $1 million per horn, and it's ridiculous money. It costs them their life and they pay the ultimate price.
They're getting ruthless. They're going with GPSs. They're going with international cell phones. I was talking to rangers in the park when I was there now, and they said, Brian, they have a scout that goes out first. He finds a rhino. He hones him in with the GPS. They shoot it and move out. And in 2 days, the horn's in China. It's a one-on war.
Yeah, he's still nice and pink there.
The drilling has started, so the tiny microchip can be placed in the horn.
This male's actually very close with the other bigger male, and he's just been lurking around the bushes over here, so his constant concern is the fact that he is just very close by. He's not liking what we're doing to his mate, and he could charge at any minute. Hole's nice and clear, so it's ready for the chip now.
Let's see the chip in it.
This is a medical procedure with a huge purpose. The idea of getting that microchip into that horn means that it can be tracked anywhere in the world and know exactly where it's come from, and that's the big step in trying to really rule out this horrific crime.
4B 7F 7 Alpha 2033. We've microchipped him, we've vaccinated him, we've marked him, we've taken DNA samples, vitamin injections. Really, the whole works is done right here and right now. Now we've done everything, really, it's just up to this injection just to reverse this anaesthetic, and then he should hop up and continue on his life a bit safer than he was before.
It will be only minutes before the rhino wakes up, and the team needs to clear his departure path.
You're going to wake him up, get ready to run. If you can climb a tree without thorns, good luck.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Watch out. Wait.
Honestly, when I gave that reversal, I thought, got a couple of minutes here, we can amble away. He woke up straight away and meant business. The rhino's still groggy, so he's crashing over rocks and then barges through a tree and then turns around and looks at me. I'm thinking, no, mate, just keep on going the way you're going. But no, he runs straight at me. Yeah, I'd go. So I do the courageous thing and run fast. I'm sure you're having a great laugh, but when that rhino's running at you, it's very, very scary. Trampled by a rhino. Interesting way to go. I've got some oxygen.
Chris is good. No, he's a natural. But he's in the wrong place. He should be in South Africa.
That was very special, so thank you.
No, well, mission accomplished. Yeah.
This is the last day of Chris's African journey.
Rehabilitating. This is where work stops.
Now it's time to relax and realise a lifelong dream.
Hey, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good. I'm Chris.
Yeah, I'm Henry.
This is Jumo Vuyatela, 7,000 hectares of private game reserve where they promise to show you the animals of Africa in their natural environment. This is going to be good. Henry knows this place better than anyone else. He's like a wildlife concierge. You just make requests and he delivers quickly too.
I can see a giraffe.
I'd like every single one of the animals all in one small area.
All of them?
Yeah, alphabetical order.
Okay, because anything is possible down here.
The leopard moving through the long grass just through here. I thought we'd see animals in the distance on the horizon and they'd run away. To see a leopard this close coming towards us. Unbelievable. It's very cool. They're absolutely one of my favourites. This is so amazing. This has absolutely been a boyhood dream to travel to Africa, to not only see the animals but to be up close to them and make differences to their lives. As a vet, it's the holy grail. I think back on everything that's happened in just a few days, and it's incredible. Meeting Kevin and being allowed into the inner sanctum with those lions was a rare privilege. And then to operate on his best mate, Napoleon.
Not done yet.
It has to be the most nerve-wracking surgery I've ever done. Microchipping a rhino with Brian, a man who loves these animals and this land so much. And meeting so many other wonderful locals with such open hearts on this journey. It's truly been a trip of a lifetime, and I feel absolutely humbled by it. It's not an experience I'll ever forget.